Hey y'all. I am so glad that you all are here. You've made it back. I am glad to be here in front of you one more time. Welcome. Welcome to my channel, my streaming channel. Welcome to my ladder life. Welcome to a journey, my healing journey. hmm I think that I'm going to start this episode number 4 of Living Out Loud, the podcast after dark. I'm going to start this one off with a little bit of background information. So I'm reading the book Successful Women Think Differently by Valorie Burton. And she's a life coach. Let me see. Let me get it right. Let me put some respect on her title. She is a certified personal and executive coach. So I found this book in my library. And by my library, I mean my home library. And it's in my home library because I found it at work in the library where I used to work. I was in charge of donations. And someone donated this book. And so I purchased it and I added it to my collection. But I had not read it. I had not read it. And so I decided to pick it up. Circumstances in my life just required me to read it at this time. Coincidence? I don't know. Um, another a dot in the connect the dot picture that is my life and will all come together as we connect some dots. And so in this book, as I'm reading this book, and I'm learning and I'm growing, and I am sitting in front of you because I am going to do it all out loud. Now, in the book, let me stop, slow down, back up. In the book, she's asked us a question, and that is, if my mind were an electronic billboard for the world to see, what are the thoughts they'd get to see? So here we go. If my mind were a billboard, what would you all get to see? Well, I'm in front of you because I am becoming better. I'm becoming better physically. I'm becoming better financially, emotionally, and spiritually. And I'm doing it all out loud. Now, this is my second channel. This is my streaming channel. I have another channel, Living Out Loud Podcast. And if you give me a second, I am going to, hello, y'all. Um, I am going to drop the link. Now, that's the link to my first channel. That is a channel where I put videos, and they are on all types of subjects, things that I'm interested in as I am just living my life out loud, okay? Now, let me see who is in in the chat with me this evening. Okay, I think I need to get rid of that. Uh-huh. And go back here. Y'all bear with me. I appreciate you being here. Hello, Sandra. Living a full life. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are doing well. It's Karen Sawyer. She's in the building. How are you doing? Hey, Karen. Hey, Stay. How you doing this evening? I'm so glad you are here. Oh my goodness. Hey, Lizzie. How you doing? Uh-huh. What you talking about, Stay? Hey, everybody. Y'all so nice. Look at you, so polite. Mm-hmm. That's how you supposed to do it. Hey. Uh-huh. Yep. So I'm at the end of it. Okay. So look, y'all. That's why I'm here. That is why I am here. Now, again, more background information. I got to testify real quick. So here I am reading, answering the questions, being introspective, being open and honest, all of that out loud, right? Ooh. So I'm open to hearing from the Lord. I'm open to it. That's why I'm doing this. Change me, oh God. So that's why I'm doing this. Because I am healing out loud. And so on my other channel, how I heal and how I communicate is over there. I garden. Oh my gosh. That is so good for my emotional health. Um, it is also good for my financial health. Man, I got a whole video coming. It is wow. But it's going to be over there on Living Out Loud, the podcast. And it's going to be good and interesting. And then I'll probably come over here to Living Out Loud, the podcast after dark and talk about it. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm living. Anyway, connecting dots, testifying. So I'm hanging out in my mornings with Miss T with the T. She has a guest to come on, Suzette Vernon. Oh my goodness. While I'm reading this book and being introspective and wanting to know where it is that I need to be going, I need direction. I have just come off of a really rough year. And so here I am examining the book, examining myself. The book is coaching me to examine myself. It's giving me questions to ask myself and to answer. And I'm doing all of that with y'all out loud, right? And so between the book and Suzette and other stay hall who is just dropping gems all over these here YouTube streets. Um, I am hearing what it is that I think that I need to hear. And so you all are coming along with me as I take this journey in my latter life. Now, I understand that I have more years behind me than I have in front of me, and I don't have a whole lot of time to waste. I got a plan, and God has a plan for me. And it's time. It is time for me to work in the vineyard, which is where I am and what I'm doing. Anyway, Miss T with the T had a guest to come on. Oh my goodness. And look, she said something, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you what it was that she said. Oh my gosh, caught my attention right away. Hmm.
And isn't it amazing that usually what causes us to wake up is some kind of tragedy or trauma?
Now I just told y'all that 2023, ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Okay. All of those pillars emotionally. Well, now let me start with physically. Downward spiral. Okay. Financially. On a sliding scale downward. Those things emotionally, well, well, you know what? I show it, I communicate it out loud over on the other channel as I am an artist. And I understand that art is a form of communication. It is. If you know how to if you know the elements and the principles, you can really understand what the artist is trying to communicate. Well, you know what? You don't have to guess what I'm trying to communicate in my artwork because I talk about it out loud. Y'all don't have to guess when you see my work in a museum somewhere what it was that I was thinking when I was painting it, what was on my mind, because I've already told you in this video, in those videos, I'm telling you what's on my mind, right? I'm also teaching you how to read a piece of work. I'm teaching you how to create a piece of work. So yeah, um, and I'm doing it all over there on Living Out Loud, the podcast. And so here I am in this self-reflective journey. I'm being asked questions. There are words there are words in this here book that are just causing me to think and be really reflective and be really open and honest with myself in this healing journey. One of the first words that caught my attention was safe choices. And I shared with you all in a previous episode that yes, that is me. I have, if I think about it, I have made a whole lot of decisions based on the fact that I was making a safe choice. And that even in my safe choosing, and in my decision making, I felt sometimes, let me see, I can show you all better than I can tell you. Trapped. I felt trapped. And one day I actually had a feeling to come over me. I was on my way to sleep. I was not in a deep sleep. I was in that just laid down and somewhere between night dreaming, daydreaming, and deep sleep. So I felt this overwhelming feeling of being pulled down into a dark into a dark place. And I had no control. There was nothing for me to grab hold to. I was in that sunken place. I pulled that picture from my sketchbook, which I did years ago. I journal, y'all. I've been journaling on Facebook out loud for a while now. I journal in my sketchbooks. My sketchbooks are also where I journal. So I pulled that picture out of my sketchbook. I drew that picture very shortly after I had that overwhelming feeling. And so, trapped was a word that she used, and it brought up that particular emotion. So, the title of the book is Successful Women Think Differently, right? Successful women think differently. So, okay, here we go. Oh, I forgot to mention or say hello to my Facebook peeps. I am streaming on both YouTube and I'm on Facebook. Now, Facebook, if you all want to join the conversation, you got to come on over to my YouTube channel. I put the link, I posted the link on my Facebook, on my page. So all you got to do is click on that link and come on over to my YouTube channel if you want to join the conversation. Okay? All right. Okay. Okay. Oh. Yes, ma'am. I do understand that. I do a lot of work on my telephone. And yes, today I had to get off of the telephone because, yep, my left eye was bothering me. It was starting to hurt. I put some drops in there and everything. I did. Anyway, look, I ain't gonna be before y'all long. I know it's late. It's late, and so I appreciate you all being here. I do. Oh, now hit the like button. Hit the like button and share the video if you don't mind. I appreciate you. I ain't too proud to beg. I am not too proud to beg. Do that for me, y'all. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. I do. Okay, that announcement out the way. All right. So in the book, now I have to define Success. I've got to define success. What is success for me? And so, okay. So now I got to be open and I got to be honest. And so being self-reflective, right? Being open and being honest and listening to what I'm being told, what it is that I need to hear. Okay. Here we go.
And Living Out Loud, the podcast After Dark, is saying, I'm over here having an epiphany. I don't know how to value myself as an artist in the marketplace. I never have.
Oh man, y'all have said a mouthful because it's true. If you don't know how to value yourself in the marketplace, you're going to be lowballed. If you bring a work for somebody else mentality in the marketplace, it's not going to work. You're going to get eaten alive. And I don't believe being an entrepreneur, owning your real estate, owning your voice, owning your God-given gift that you're sharing with the world is supposed to mean that you're killing yourself softly for it.
Killing myself softly is really what I was doing. Is what I have been doing, if I'm being honest and self-reflective. When when I was asked to examine what I thought success was, when I was asked to examine my purpose, when I was asked to ask myself, whose life do I impact? Well, that got me to thinking about what I have done, what I used to do, and what I'm not doing, or what I'm not doing anymore. Not realizing that I actually was. I am still working, doing the things that I've done in the past, being a customer servant. I am still doing what I have always done. I'm simply doing it in a different stage of my life. And it's a stage of my life where I'm coming off of a crisis. So here I am in a retirement stage, which is where Suzette is. She has just retired from, so she's in a retirement stage of her life. And so there's some revelations that she has learned in this retirement stage, and the things that she has learned resonated with me, right? She was talking to me. She was talking to me, y'all. Okay? And she was helping me to cut myself some slack. She was helping me to reset. I'm okay, reset. Um you ever been in a I know you have, shopping for cologne. So you spray, you smell. There are coffee beans all along the counters. Why? They are there for you to sniff and to reset your brain for the next fragrance Otherwise, you're going to get all confused and blurred. So that those coffee beans are there to reset. So this is where I am. I'm having to reset now. I'm having to reset my whole way of being. And I have to be healthy. I got to do it. I got to be healthy about it. Okay? I got to be smart about it. I got to be smart about it. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm listening. I am listening, and I'm being honest, and I'm using words as I'm thinking about my purpose now after this crisis. What is my purpose now? And so I was thinking about it all wrong. I used words like worthless and meaningless and valueless. I've got to know my my value. I've got to know my worth. I cannot I can no longer put value on the things that I've done. Mm-mm. I can't put value on the things that I've done. Putting those things behind me, I press forward. That's a word. Don't ask me where. I can't think of it right now. And I don't want to stop what I'm doing to to tell you where it is. Okay. So here I am. Here I am in this new phase, this retirement phase of my life, you know, questioning my value, questioning my worth. Whose life am I impacting? And so now I'm looking at my views. I'm looking at how many people view the the videos that I have on Living Out Loud, the podcast, and I'm attributing value to that instead of attributing value to myself, the one who actually did the work. I created the videos. I did that. You know, I built the subscriber base that I have already. I did that. Do not despise small beginnings, Christine. I did that, right? So now I have to. I got to get out of the mindset that I've been in. This worthless and meaningless and valueless. No, I can't stay in that. I can't stay in that. No, can't do it. Won't do it. Will not do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Let me check the chat. Let me check the chat. Good evening, and welcome. Welcome, God. God's desire for me, God's desire for me. Welcome. Look at you coming in okay, calm down, Christine. Welcome, God's desire for me. Welcome. See, look at you. Got me. Now I can't see. I can't see. I can't see out my good eye because it's all teared up. All right. So Don't forget disclaimer number 2. I'm a crybaby. So what I do is what I do. So recognizing now, it's all in my mind. It's all in my mind, right? This is the battlefield. Everything, everything starts right here. Get your mind right. Get your thoughts together, Christine. Get it right. Okay? You're welcome. You sure welcome. So, Lisa J, did I speak to you already? And if I didn't, I'm so sorry. Hey, girl. Hey. How you doing this evening? So glad you could make it in and hang out with me this evening. I'm not gonna be before you long. Give me just a few more minutes. Give me a few more minutes, just a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna be gone. And I'm gonna let y'all loose so y'all can, finish the evening the way you finish the evening. Go to sleep, get ready for tomorrow. Wrap your hair, put the hair rollers in, wash the dishes while listening. Do something. Don't vacuum, because then you won't be able to hear me. Anyway, um, so now I've got to examine myself. Okay, I've got to examine myself. I got to think. I got to think. I got to get my thoughts together. I got to get my stinking thinking together. Okay, so then the coaching question was: think back to a failure. Lord have mercy. That's the last thing I need. That's the last thing I need to do is to think about my failures. But I did. I did. She even wrote in the book, don't skip this. Do not skip this. This is necessary. It's necessary to understand why it is that you failed. Why do you think you or why I think I failed? Okay, so don't skip it. So why did I fail? I had to think about I went back, think back to a recent failure. That was the coaching question. And so I went back to um I went back to uh the the decision that I made. The decision that I thought was the absolute worst decision that I could have made. Marriage. This feeling, this overwhelming feeling came over me very shortly after I got married. I knew that I had made a very bad decision. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna say it. I had messed up royally. Okay, that was the decision that was the failure that I went to first. But then I realized that the failure wasn't external. It was internal. The failure was against me. I failed my own self. I made some poor choices, unwise decisions that left me feeling like I was all up in the sunken place. I was, but then I realized as I'm being honest and open, that it was my mindset. It was my mindset that got me in that failure in that failure in the first place. It was my mindset. It was, what was it? It was a fixed mindset. That's what Valerie called it, a fixed mindset. So I'm going back. If if everything starts in the mind, right? Well, I got to. What am I thinking that is causing me to make these poor choices and bad decisions? What's going on? Why am I? What's what's going on in me that is causing me to think, to make these? And that one won't. That was just the biggest one. Oh, there was a whole lot more. Oh, there was a plenty of poor choices. Poor choices made. Anyway, uh, Lord have mercy. ah, so I wrote down the page number. So get yourself together, Christine. What's my mindset? What is your mindset? So Dr. Carol Dweck, Dweck. Now I bet you $5 that W is silent and the name is Deck. I don't know that to be true. So I'm gonna just call her Dr. Carol. Dr. Carol, a professor of psychology at Stanford University, has spent much of her career studying the mental attitudes of the most successful people, young and old, in the face of challenges and opportunities. What she has discovered is a fundamental difference in the mindset of the most successful people. Her quest began early in her career as she engaged in research to better understand how people cope with failure. She observed young students grappling with problems using puzzles as the method of problem solving. Beginning with fairly simple puzzles, she then had students move on to harder ones. Her goal was not to see who finished the puzzles fastest or had the easiest time solving the puzzles. No. Instead, she studied each student's thought process by observing the strategies they used to solve the problem and probing their thoughts and feelings doing problem solving. This is some critical thinking, y'all, and this is some critical thinking healing going on out loud. She noticed that a handful of students in her studies did something peculiar compared to the others. They welcomed challenge. They were excited by the puzzles they had trouble solving. The harder the puzzle, the more determined they seemed, while other students were motivated by the possibilities of looking smart and were deflated by feelings of discouragement in the face of the difficult puzzles, these students were not, wait a minute, while other students were motivated by the possibility of looking smart and were deflated by feeling of discouragement in the face of the difficult puzzle, these students were not intimidated. When these peculiar students appeared to be failing because they couldn't solve the puzzle, they didn't even seem to view the experience as failing. Instead, they clearly thought they were learning. Dr. Carol pinpointed through her research can profoundly impact how you approach your, hold on, back up, Christine, because I think this is important. What Dr. Carol pinpointed through her research can profoundly impact how you approach your entire life, from career and relationships to health and financial habits. She called this simple but fundamental difference fixed mindset and growth mindset. A fixed mindset is focused on talent. Someone with a fixed mindset believes statements like, you are smart and therefore you will do well in life. And you are naturally gifted and that will take you far. These are layers being uncovered in me because I've had these thoughts, okay? Those who have a fixed mindset believe that one's natural gifts and abilities determine how far one can go in life. These are the people who believe that one's intelligence is defined by one's IQ, GPA, and SAT scores. Ha. These numbers become not just measures of potential, but a limitation, life gain, a limitation of potential. These blessed with very high scores, those blessed with good grief, Christine. Those blessed with very high scores in a particular area of life gain a sense of confidence, but also insecurity, since potential is measured by a set criteria. Falling below that criteria can put one's very intelligence or value at stake. Now I'm tell y'all that I underlined that part because I understand that the safe choices that I made were as a result of insecurities that I had within myself. I had insecurities because because of SAT scores, math. Math used to bring me to tears. My frustration with my lack of understanding, my lack of ability to study and learn what was difficult for me. Instead, I excelled at what was easy for me. I could pick I can't, look, two plus 2 is 3 in my mind. Now, y'all say I can't count. So I could draw. I can draw the number 3 in such a way that it'll make you cry. I can draw the number 3 in such a way that it'll look like a piece of glass. The point is, I was very insecure. I made the decision to be a teacher because the thing that I really wanted to do required me to be better at math. So yeah. And so yeah, this thing has caused me to be reflective. What are we talking about in the chat? Let's see. It's only failure if we don't learn and grow. Yes, ma'am. Amen. Past failures bring future triumphs. Hallelujah. That's when you're, amen. It absolutely is where I'm headed now. Now, stay hall since I got you here and we talking. Now, this is my thinking for the future. After I finish this book, I'm going to the next book. And the next book is your book. Can I get an autographed copy of your book? I got a book list, y'all. I got a book list growing. My next book is Stay Hall's book. Okay. Please put in the chat how we can get that book again for me. Um, uh, and them, everybody who's listening who might want to follow along with me in the next book. And then the next book will be the book from the young lady who visited Miss T with the T. Now, the clip that I've been playing, y'all, is from Miss T with the T's channel. Okay? And look, God has been using Miss T. God has been using Miss T, right? We look, we will be used. God will use us voluntarily or involuntarily. Miss T said, we don't talk about religion and politics. The very next stream. Suzette came on and her foundation was a religious one, right? And so, yeah. I'm I'm learning spiritually. My growth is coming from Miss T with the T's channel, who don't talk about religion. Yeah. So let me see. Let me dab my gotta dab my eye. I'm not picking up that magnifying glass. That's embarrassing. I can't go out like that. Now, let's see. Dang it. The thing is the thing the things most of us of the time when we make don't judge me. The thing is most of the time when we make poor choices, we don't realize it at the time. No. It seems like a good idea. They all seem like a good idea to me at the time. Well, some of them seem like a good idea. A lot of them I knew I was just dead ass wrong. That's why I so much extend. Oh my gosh, whoo, Grace. Oh yeah, Grace. Hello from Alaska. How you doing? What time is it in Alaska? Oh Lord, let me look at the time. Oh my word. I need to hurry up, don't I? I said I wasn't gonna be before you long. I did, that's what I said. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, okay, all right. It's coming. What is it? Oh, it's early. 6:50 p.m. Okay, that's early. This is my Alaska reference. So I started watching uh, True Detective, and it is coming. It's supposed to be Alaska. And I have another reference. There was a movie I saw. It was about vampires, the apocalypse, end of days, something like that. That long night that you all get. Are you all in that long night now? That long night that you all get, and all of the weird. There were a bunch of weird things happening, and yeah, I digress. I digress. Time is not on my side. I need to go ahead. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. I recall believing I was smart. This is the author talking now. I recall believing I was smart and questioning that belief after getting low scores on the verbal section. I recall believing I was smart and questioning that belief after getting low scores on the verbal section of the SAT. If I had allowed those scores to define my potential, I certainly would not be an author today. When we allow our potential to be limited by grades or performance reviews, it's, it affects our belief in our own possibilities. True, true, true. Many women are trained to operate for your giftedness. This praise may even at times may have made you feel some special or worthy. Nope. Made you feel more special or worthy than others. True. This praise may even at times have made you feel more special or worthy than others. Um, you probably don't like to admit this, but for many, it is true. Okay. Parents sometimes even encourage this belief in the name of building confidence in their children, but it is dangerous. What happens when you believe the reason you succeed is solely based on your what happens when you believe the reason you succeed is solely based on your giftedness? When you don't succeed, it can be devastating. You're constantly in a position of proving how smart you are and how gifted you are, and the pressure can be intense, so much so that people with a fixed mindset shy away from challenges they are unsure they can conquer. Better to say, better to stay in my comfort zone than to risk failure. Can I get a witness? Is there anybody, is this resonating with anybody other than me? They say to themselves subconsciously, even, no, I ain't read that right. Better to stay in my comfort zone than to risk failure. They say to themselves subconsciously. Every opportunity or challenge is an evaluation of their worth. Well, will I be a success or a failure? Will I gain more approval or end up rejected? Another trait of this with a fixed mindset is that they look down on effort. If you have to try hard, you must not really be that good. Before I, let me see, that's what the fixed mindset says. Before I became aware of the mindsets, I discovered this attitude in myself. It was holding me back tremendously, and I didn't even know it. The same could be true for you. Using the technique of coaching through journaling, which I do, y'all. Remember, I told you I have a Facebook page, and I've been journaling out loud for a while. hmm I began pulling back the layers as I sought to understand why I was so stuck as I tried to move towards some exciting goals that I'd set for myself. And here's how that internal conversation went. She questioned herself. What am I afraid of when it comes to being more assertive about marketing my company and services? The answer to herself was, I don't know what I'm afraid of. It just seems like if my marketing is effective, I wouldn't have to directly ask for opportunities. What the question was to herself, what is so bad about directly asking for opportunities? Her answer was, I know it is a normal part of business to ask. And a lot of people ask for opportunities, but if you are really successful and talented, you don't have to ask. You are asked. You are invited. This was a bit of a light bulb moment. I was actually surprised to hear myself say this. Successful people don't have to ask, where did I get this idea from? I knew I believed it, but I also knew it might be a faulty belief. So I continued probing. This is what you have to do sometimes to get to the bottom of an issue. That's what I'm doing, y'all. I'm probing. And I'm doing it out loud. Without having a name for it at the time, what I discovered was a fixed mindset. Here's what I was really saying. If you have talent, you don't have to try so hard. You don't have to ask. Trying hard somehow diminishes your talent. You aren't really that talented. If the way you arrived at success was by putting forth so much effort, nope, didn't read that right. Trying hard sometimes diminishes your talent. You aren't really that talented if the way you arrived at success was by putting forth so much effort. Gifted people are naturally successful. So I continue this self coaching conversation. So then her question to herself was, so if it's true that successful people, truly successful people, don't have to ask, think of highly successful people. You know, is this the principle they subscribe to? The answer to herself was, well, as I think about my mentors and even well-known entrepreneurs, I know they ask for opportunities. They don't just wait to see what shows up. They get clear about what they want and they are not afraid to ask for it. So if your belief that successful and talented people don't, so the question to herself was, so is it your belief that successful and talented people don't ask, helping you or hurting you? And the answer was, it's definitely hurting me. First, it's simply untrue. And second, it's leading me to use an approach that is much too passive. Man, this is so preaching to me. Her question then to herself was, what new beliefs do you want to replace that old one with? Truly successful people is her answer. For truly successful people ask for opportunities. They don't just market, they also sell. And they put forth a lot of effort, which in no way diminishes their talent, instead shows their commitment. Not ask because you believe it will diminish your talent. It's simply prideful. Man, that's a mouthful, y'all. That's a mouthful. That is a mouthful. And look, let me tell you what that passage did for me. To not ask is prideful. Now, I appreciate, I do. I appreciate every last one of you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your being here. And really, really what I want is for you to hit the like button. I want you to share the videos so that I can gain more, so we can pass the I can pass the message along and begin to heal out loud. Hmm. What was that? Hmm. So yeah, uh, ain't too proud to beg. Sure ain't. I learned this. I have learned in the last few days how to let some things go. And I'm gonna open up my mouth and I'm gonna ask, please, if you can, support the channel. Okay, I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Oh, let me tell you how you can support the channel. Watch this. On Living Out Loud the podcast, I have a I have a link to a site called Collective Voice. When you if you decide that you want to follow along with some of my art lessons and you need some supplies, you can go over to the Collective Voice, and there are art supplies, everything that you need. You don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of, nope. Everything you need is right there. I found good prices, and you will also get a discount if you buy through that site. And of course, I'm gonna get a small kickback when you do. So it's a win-win situation. So that is one way that you can help the channel. Also, I'm not monetized, and so I'm not monetized anywhere. Not my first channel or my um, streaming channel. I think that this streaming channel though is going to be the one that gets monetized first, because I be using music over on my other channel, and I got copyrights on all my videos, and I don't know how that's gonna affect my yeah. And so yeah, let me get back to it. Oh Lord. Hmm. Um, GT Junior. Don't laugh at me. It only encourages my bad behavior. All right. I ain't gonna be before. I'm not going to hold y'all up a whole lot much longer. Facebook, are y'all still hanging out with me? Um. So in she continues, in this short 5 minute self coaching exercise, I unearthed a limiting belief that had been lying just beneath the surface of my actions or lack thereof for years. And it was rooted in a fixed mindset that says effort is somehow a negative. After all, if you fail, you can say you really didn't put forth much effort. You have an excuse. But if you fail and you truly gave it your all, your very worth is at stake. Women with a fixed mindset, failure is not what you do, but it defines who you are. The exciting part is that you have a choice. Hello, you have a choice. Now, I just told you all. Um, the link to the collective is in the description box. It's in the it's in my channel description, and it's in yeah, it's in my channel description. So if you go to Living Out Loud the podcast and click on the about, you'll see it. It's on some of the videos, but not all of them. The ones where um I'm teaching, like the color wheel, you might find it there. Or yeah. So it's over on the other channel. And Lisa, see, you try you trying to get me in trouble. Now this is what I can do. I can put uh-huh. I can put that. And that is the link to Living Out Loud the podcast. Okay? What was I saying? Okay. Um I'm gonna go back to my last thought. Maybe what I was saying will come back to me. Oh, oh yeah. Women with a fixed mindset are terrified of failure. In the mind of a woman with a fixed mindset, failure is not what you do, but it defines who you are. The exciting part is that you have a choice. That's where I was going. I was headed somewhere. The exciting part is that I have a choice. So, this too is from my sketchbook. I drew it after a message I heard, reaching beyond the fray. When you are, when you are, when you get to the place where, how can I say it? Lord help me to choose the right words. When you have done all you can do, when you begin to know better, when you begin to grow, as you begin to grow, reach. Reach beyond your breaking point. That was the main thing, but for that was the main message. Reach beyond your breaking point. Go a little further. Try a little harder. Learn a little more. Learn a little more. Be a little more introspective. Be open and honest. Reach beyond your breaking point. Forgetting those things that are behind you, press, reach towards the mark of the high call. Let me say that again. Forgetting those things that are behind you, there is rope behind you. There's also rope in front of you. And if you reach past the fray, the breaking point, there is hope. There is hope on the other side of your breaking point. My breaking point. So, yeah. I'm thinking that this ain't easy. This sometimes healing ain't easy. It don't look good. Okay. It is what it is. So here I am. The exciting part is that I have a choice. I have a choice. Um, think back to a time, she says, when you fail. She really likes taking us there, don't she? Think back to a time when you failed and then called in to question your own intelligence or abilities. Perhaps you began to doubt whether you could ever accomplish what you set out to do. You failed in a relationship and decided you were doomed to remain single forever. Hello. In my very first episode, episode 1.5 of Living Out Loud, the podcast After Dark, I said out loud, I am not a wife. Why? Because I just don't have the characteristics of a wife, right? That's what I said. And I also said that if I ever say to y'all that I was getting married, it was because I had failed and bumped my head. Now, as I'm layering back, as I'm pulling back the layers, I am understanding why it is I think this way. Hello. You failed in a relationship and decided you were doomed to remain single forever. I just don't get the love thing. Did I say that? Did I say something stupid like, I don't know how to be loving. I don't know what that looks like. I said that. I said that not too long ago. I'm no good at it. I'm no good at it, you say. Or I keep getting rejected by men. I must be unlovable. These are decisive evaluations of your relationship abilities that give you no room for improvement. This is who you are and how you are, and is not going to change. The fixed mindset says, mm-mm, not me. I will not continue on in this fixed mindset. I'm not. I will not continue on. There's more. There's more that let me go ahead and, okay. All right. All right. The mind, y'all still hanging with me. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate you. Even if y'all have fallen asleep, you make me think that you're still with me, and I appreciate you. The mindset works just fine when you are succeeding at everything. But when you start struggling or failing, it simply leaves no hope for the future. That's where I went, y'all. That's where I went. That's where I went. I promise you I went there. Emotionally, 2023, ooh wee. Yeah. So the fixed mindset says life dealt you a hand and that's it. This often causes people dissatisfied with the hand that they've been dealt to bluff about the hand they've been given. These are people who often feel afraid they will be found out. They are constantly trying to prove themselves and sometimes feel like an imposter putting on a facade of smarts and personality to win people's approval and praise. The growth mindset offers an approach that melts anxiety and opens the door to amazing possibilities. It says your natural traits are more than just something you have to live with, but simply a starting point. You can cultivate the qualities needed to succeed through your own efforts. A growth mindset believes you can grow through experience and change substantially through your actions. Unlike a fixed mindset, a growth mindset doesn't disdain effort, it thrives on it. Because those with a growth mindset believes that through effort they can learn things they previously did not understand, imp- improve personality traits, and even grow in intelligence. They are not as easily discouraged by failure. When you have a growth mindset, challenges that stretch you far beyond your comfort zone actually excite you. You realize you're going to learn something. You will be expanded by the experience, not judged by it. Women with a growth mindset believe that with years of discipline and passion, their true potential is unknown. Why waste time hiding your shortcomings rather than simply overcoming them? Why look for a spouse who will challenge you to grow rather than simply quell your insecurities? Why stay in your comfort zone and play it safe when you can stretch towards your true dreams? Let me, I'm gonna do this here, right here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all, like, you all have no idea how this encourages me. No clue. You don't even understand. I don't think you do. Here I go. Here I go. Stop, Christine. Stop. Okay. Where am I? Why stay in your comfort zone and play it safe when you can stretch towards? I press, still I press. This is the call and the price and the reason I press. I press towards the mark of the high call. This is why I am pressing towards the mark of the high calling, because there's been a reset in me. I've had a sniff of the coffee. 2023 will not get the best of me. I am resetting my mind, resetting my thoughts, resetting my ways. I am healing out loud. Y'all gonna see a whole and other total mindset, a change. You all will see a change come over me. You're gonna see it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's see. Consider this. If you believe you can improve, you are not as intimidated by the idea that your abilities are not currently as great as you would like. In your mind, those abilities are not set in stone. They will change as you actively learn and grow. However, if you believe that your abilities are permanently set, you will be more likely to inflate them. If there's no room for growth or change, you will want to impress people as much as possible right now. Hmm. So the the video with Suzette, she really made me self-examine where I am in this stage, where I am right now. Um, and so as I am resetting, my thinking, as I'm resetting my thinking, she encouraged me. And let me tell you how. Let me tell you what, I'm going to show you what she said. I'm going to show you how awesome God is, and how, as I'm going, as I am growing and seeking and yielding, as I am listening, as I am becoming, this is how she, and she being Suzette Verdon, who, I did not put it in the description bar, but I will put the link to the video that I used, the clips that I used from this tea with the tea. I will put the link to that video in the description box. I'm gonna try to do it tonight. But yeah, this is what she said.
If I were to leave any kind of advice, if I were to be so bold as to give it,
Mhm.
what I would say, and I hope the takeaway from this is this: own yourself. Whatever you produce, own that. Don't let what you produce own you, because you're the brains behind it. Without you, there would not be anything produced. And we put more value in what we produce than in ourselves. That's the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make.
So, as I have been as I have been um, over here on this live a little bit longer than I intended to. Um, Again, thank you all for hanging out with me, for supporting me in the way that you have. Your being here has been such a blessing, such a blessing to me. And so I look forward. I look forward to what God has in store for me coming. I am going to I am going to I'm going to I'm going to reach beyond my breaking point as I have reset. I have reset, and so yeah, I have reset, and I am just looking so forward to what God has in store for me. And so I think that I'm rambling. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ramble on. What I'm going to do is end on this note. God's desire for me has sealed it with an amen and amen. And so until the next video, all right?